In 1871, Britain built the world's first wind tunnel laboratory, thus starting a 60-year journey of core technology monopoly. For the newly established New China at that time, this was a great technological achievement. But 30 years ago, China's wind tunnel technology would lag far behind developed countries. So some American experts asserted that the Chinese would not be able to catch up with them in 50 years. However, Chinese scientists did not stop, but instead regarded these ridicules as a driving force for progress. In the past decade, Chinese scientists have embarked on the road of independent innovation and have made many remarkable achievements. And in 2023, Chinese scientists have successfully developed the JF-22 hypersonic wind tunnel. The wind speed of this wind tunnel can reach an astonishing 33 Mach, even exceeding the 30 Mach of the latest hypersonic wind tunnel in the United States. This achievement shocked American experts because it was enough to prove that China's wind tunnel technology was 20 years ahead of the United States. So, how powerful is the JF-22 hypersonic wind tunnel? How did China achieve technological breakthroughs and successfully lead the United States by 20 years? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Wind tunnel technology. Although this concept sounds a little strange, it is actually closely related to our lives. As early as the beginning of the development of aircraft, wind tunnel technology has been used to study the airflow dynamics of flying objects. But with the advancement of technology and the expansion of application fields, the footprints of wind tunnel technology have begun to spread throughout the aviation field. Usually, the flight of an aircraft is essentially carried out in the sky, but on the ground, we cannot directly test the flight performance of the aircraft, especially when these aircraft are still in the design stage. This requires the intervention of wind tunnel technology. Simply put, we can make a reduced model of the aircraft and fix it in the wind tunnel. Then, the high-speed airflow generated by the wind tunnel blows the model to simulate the various airflow environments of the real aircraft flying in the sky. In this way, before the aircraft is actually manufactured, its flight performance can be predicted and analyzed to ensure the rationality and safety of the design. But looking back at history, the development of wind tunnel technology in various countries around the world can be described as magnificent. In the last century, the United States, the Soviet Union, Germany, and other countries have always been in the world's leading position in wind tunnel technology. The development of wind tunnel technology in China is slightly slow. It was not until 1936 that China built its first wind tunnel. Unfortunately, this period coincided with the outbreak of the anti-Japanese War, and the newly built facilities were destroyed by the Japanese army in the war soon after. This was undoubtedly a huge blow to China at that time. Due to the impact of the war, China had to temporarily put aside related research and technological development, which widened the gap between China and Western countries in wind tunnel technology to nearly 50 years. Despite the many challenges, China did not choose to give up on the road of wind tunnel technology. After the war, Chinese scientists restarted the research on wind tunnel technology with firm determination, but no important breakthroughs were made for more than 10 years. It was not until 1955 that the situation of aerodynamic research in China finally turned around. This year, China welcomed back a heavyweight scientist, Qian Shueson. Qian Shueson is an internationally renowned scientist. After returning to China, he successfully served as the director of the Institute of Mechanics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Under the leadership of this great scientist, China also restarted the research work on wind tunnel technology in 1957. It was also during this period that China successfully developed an innovative technology hydrogen-oxygen combustion-driven shock tube. At that time, hydrogen-oxygen combustion-driven shock tube was regarded as the future research direction of wind tunnel technology, but due to its low airflow quality and high safety risks, this technology failed to gain wide international recognition. At that time, due to the strict technical blockade and suppression of China by Western countries led by the United States, China's related research faced huge challenges. Despite the disadvantage of international isolation, Chinese scientists did not give up. They faced the difficulties under extremely simple conditions and began arduous scientific research exploration. After countless experiments, failures, repeated summaries, and improvements, China successfully developed the first generation of shock tubes in 1958. It was this breakthrough in China that laid a solid foundation for their subsequent research. After entering the 1960s, Chinese scientists relied on these initial achievements to continuously deepen their research and successfully developed the JF-4 straight-through shock wind tunnel, the JF-4A reflection shock wind tunnel, and the JF-8 shock wind tunnel, achieving a technological leap from 0 to 1. By the 1990s, these accumulated experiences helped China build a hydrogen-oxygen detonation-driven, high-enthalpy shock tunnel, which not only became the world's first successfully operated detonation-driven shock tunnel, but also laid a solid foundation for China's development in the field of hypersonic wind tunnel research. With the advent of the 21st century, the global scientific research community has shown great enthusiasm for the research and development of hypersonic scramjet engines. Chinese scientists also deeply realized the importance of exploring hyper-super technology. So in 2006, they proposed to build a shock tunnel that can reproduce hypersonic flight conditions and quickly obtained government approval. In January 2008, this dream was officially launched under the leadership of the State Key Laboratory of High-Temperature Gas Dynamics. This shock tunnel, named JF-22, was developed on the basis of the hydrogen-oxygen detonation method over the past 50 years and the detonation-driven wind tunnel technology exploration over 15 years. After 4 years of unremitting efforts by scientific researchers, the JF-22 shock tunnel was finally developed and accepted on May 14, 2012. The wind tunnel was not only the world's largest hypersonic shock wave wind tunnel at the time, but also the world's first wind tunnel that could accurately reproduce hypersonic flight conditions. Its appearance successfully solved the world's difficult problem that had plagued hypersonic ground tests for 60 years. This also marked that China's wind tunnel technology officially entered the world's first echelon. But China did not stop there. In 2018, Beijing, China, also announced an amazing news. They will officially start a new research project called JF-22 Hyperspeed Wind Tunnel. China's goal this time is very clear. The goal is mainly to address the country's major needs for round-trip flight technology between the Earth and the sky and the frontier exploration of high-temperature gas dynamics, so as to solve the problem of experimental research on hyperspeed flight technology. As soon as this news was released, it was questioned and disbelieved by some professionals in the United States and the world, because they felt that China had just completed the development of the JF-22 shock wave wind tunnel, and it was impossible to start a new research so quickly. But in July 2023, China announced to the world that the JF-22 hyperspeed wind tunnel experiment has been fully built and passed the acceptance. So, how powerful is the JF-22 hyperspeed wind tunnel? As the cradle of the development of a new generation of aircraft, the JF-22 hyperspeed wind tunnel can simulate a very wide range of altitudes, which can reach close to the space area, that is, the high altitude area between 20,000 meters and 100,000 meters. However, the JF-22 hypersonic wind tunnel can simulate airflow conditions at a speed of Mach 33 at an altitude of 40,000 to 90,000 meters. Such technical parameters are quite amazing. For a long time in the past, the United States has been regarded as a leader in wind tunnel technology. Their LensX wind tunnel is the world's top wind tunnel and can generate wind speeds of up to Mach 30. However, The most advanced wind tunnel in the United States can only maintain a test time of 30 milliseconds at a speed of Mach 30. China's JF-22 not only has a higher speed of Mach 33, but also a duration of 100 to 130 milliseconds. This performance indicator has far exceeded similar wind tunnel technology in the United States. If China applies this leading wind tunnel technology to the Earth-to-space round-trip system, its potential economic benefits and strategic value will be immeasurable. For example, in terms of satellite or spacecraft launches, this technology can greatly reduce launch costs, and it is estimated that it can reduce costs by up to 90%. In addition, if this technology is applied to the manufacture of hypersonic weapons, then at a speed of Mach 33, such weapons can fly about 10 kilometers in 1 second. This means that if an attack on U.S. territory is carried out within 14 minutes, it will be difficult to stop it under the current technological conditions of the United States. What is more worth mentioning is that the JF-22 high-speed wind tunnel is also an indispensable professional testing facility for China's aviation and aerospace in the future. Based on the JF-22 high-speed wind tunnel, China's scientific research team also plans to develop a product called stationary oblique detonation engine in the future. The heating efficiency of this flight engine will be 50% higher than that of traditional engines, and will be invested in the research and development of China's supersonic aircraft, aviation rockets, and other fields. In today's era of rapid development in science and technology, every innovation has the potential to change the current world situation. However, through the continued use of the JF-22 high-speed wind tunnel and the research and development of future technologies, we can foresee that China will have more exciting achievements in aerospace technology. So, what are your different views on the development of China's wind tunnel field? To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.